no matter where you live.
We have to address the climate change issue, which is a global problem.
Climate change is reshaping how and where people live their lives.
And what's at stake is an opportunity to really revive our economy.
This week, we're focused on climate issues and solutions that could slow destructive changes.
The idea about a climate haven is generally an issue of hope, that we have places to move to.
Including one that's right beneath our feet.
It's supposed to help keep out the wolves.
And one that dates back hundreds of years. This is The Race. Welcome to The Race. I'm Dan Grossman. This is what we expect winter to look like. But only 2 months ago, things looked very different in this part of Colorado after the Marshall Fire burned more than 1,000 homes. It was the first time a fire that size affected so many people during this part of the year. And the main reason? Climate change. It's what we're exploring this week on The Race as more states use tax dollars to protect its people from climate change's effects.
Good to go, John?
On this day in February, it is 23 degrees. We're 8,300 feet above sea level, and there's about 7 inches of crusted snow on the ground.
Looking like the snowpack's not that agreeable right now.
But for 22-year-old Marco Perez, it is not enough.
We're kind of just looking for piles that aren't gonna escape our little snow ring here. So for example, if I were to burn this one, there's a good chance that all this grass here might go, and then who knows from there.
Marco is with 3 other college-aged kids getting rid of vegetation piles that were cut to reduce the amount of wildfire fuel in the area.
Going up pretty good.
It's the first time they've done it during this time of the year, and it's the first time they've done it as part of the newly formed Colorado Climate Corps.
The goal is not to prevent and suppress fire. It's really allow fire to do what it needs to do, but reduce the impact to values like homes, communities, our water resources.
Claire Morrissey is the regional director for the group, which just started last month as part of a $1.7 million investment from the state. The Climate Corps is similar to the Corps Network, which since 1933 has employed young people across the country to conserve our lands. Today, there are more than 130 conservation corps in 46 states. The work of the Climate Corps, however, is different in that it specifically focuses on climate-related goals, not just land conservation. This year, Colorado became only the 2nd state to have such a group, next to California, which started its Climate Corps in 2020.
To me, that seems really important, this work.
John Knudsen leads Marco's group as the fire program coordinator. By burning these piles of wood and brush, they hope to further prevent catastrophic fires like the Marshall Fire that burned more than 1,000 homes in late December, not too far from here. By mitigating fire activity, they're also preventing dangerous mudslides that can trigger after a fire, endangering lives as well as the watershed.
Each summer, fire behavior seems a little bit more extreme. Right, like last year we had 3 of our bigger fires in Colorado history. So that was definitely a red flag.
Fire seasons are longer, fires are burning hotter. So being in cohabitation with fire is more difficult, and that's why the resources and the project work that this crew is conducting is just becoming more important.
Last year, President Biden proposed investing $10 billion to employ 20,000 Corps members a year as part of a national climate corps. But the funding was to come from the Build Back Better Act, which has yet to pass a congressional vote. Until that happens, Marco and his team will continue their work.
Gonna go with fire for as long as my body will let me, I guess.
Hoping to serve as a beacon of progress in the fight against climate change.
I'm Alexa Liaco. We're starting to see the impact. Destructive fires year-round, larger hurricanes, record-breaking floods, and rising sea levels.
Climate change is something that's currently happening.
And it's something scientists say we will all experience.
I would say there's no place that's safe from climate change.
But researchers are starting to see there are places across America that will be safer, less impacted by the extreme consequences of a changing climate.
People will potentially be retreating from the coasts, and it puts places like Buffalo and Cleveland and Detroit and Duluth in a situation where they may receive people in the future.
University at Buffalo professor Nick Rakovich studies climate migration. That's where people are moving because of changes in our climate. This city, known for ice and snow, is also a future climate haven. Buffalo has experienced less warming than other cities and has access to fresh water.
Basically 4 out of 5 of the Great Lakes are dumping their fresh water into the Niagara River.
And Buffalo will one day have a much more temperate climate. Think less snow, warmer winters.
Our climate here is expected to be something closer to what they have in Tennessee.
People are expected to move here by the thousands. Some already have. Hurricane Maria pushed thousands of Puerto Ricans out. Many moved to Buffalo because an average house costs less than $200,000, and there aren't hurricanes to deal with here. Experts say elsewhere, drought in the Great Plains will push people to Minneapolis, Chicago, and Denver. Wildfires and heat waves could push people towards Sacramento and Seattle in the west. And rising sea levels in Florida, New York, and California bring opportunity for growth to places like Cleveland, Detroit, and Buffalo.
I really believe in the idea that Buffalo can be an example to the world.
And this right here is a couple of our homes that we built.
Rawa Gurmatsian runs community advocacy nonprofit Push Buffalo. She wants to make sure families like hers aren't left behind.
And what's at stake is an opportunity to really revive our economy, but do it in a way that is in right relationship with the people that are here and in right relationship with the natural world around us.
Buffalo's infrastructure was built for more than 500,000 people. But today, the city only has about 280,000 residents. So there's room to grow, but there are challenges.
Cities like Buffalo make the mistake of thinking if they build the infrastructure for the higher income groups, that's the key to building the great city. You have to create quality neighborhoods for low income population and groups. The city that gets that will be the one that attracts all of the groups.
Community leaders want to make sure neighborhoods aren't gentrified so lower income families can afford to stay here and move here.
The desire to have immediacy and action is very strong, but we're talking about an existential threat like global climate change. It's going to take us years to build up to that.
But the community and city leaders here know if they prepare now, they can set an example of a greener, more inclusive future.
Not just for America, but really around the world.
For The Race, I'm Alexa Liacco.
Meet the ranchers learning to use soil to help offset their carbon footprint when the race continues.